subscribe. I'm a fagoso. Jump in them sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. How is everybody doing today? We're almost there. We've made it. We're here. We did it, guys. Welcome, everybody, to this Crimeland episode. Let's see what we're doing. Let's pull up the chat, see who's here. First of all, welcome, everyone. Just so you know, on today's show, if you donate anything at all, anything, even the smallest super sticker to the largest donation ever, these sweet puppers will get a treat on air. And we will turn off my phone ringer. There's always something, isn't there? Probably 20 things today because I lost track of time. And usually my alarm goes off 30 minutes before the show starts. I didn't reset my alarm from yesterday, so it went off when the show was supposed to start, and then I had to run in here and figure everything out. But Ava's here, Xena is here. If you care to support the show at all, we will be happy to provide the milk bones for them. This is how we buy the milk bones, guys. At least look at the camera. Ava's got a down pat. She likes the milk bones. I have several stories for you today. I'm going to start out with one that is not the thumbnail, and then the second one that we're going to do is what's pictured on the thumbnail. I have a lot of information about that one, and it pisses me off, so I want to talk about it, right? That's what I do over here. That's the whole reason for the channel. It looks like we already had some super chats come in while I wasn't looking. You sneakies, sneaky sneakers. Yes, we will. It says, puppies need love too, from Kathy. Thank you, cool Clearwater family. I feel like I'm part of the family at this point. I really do. We will we'll dole out some milk bones for them. Let's see. I'm going to close this door too while I have you guys, or while I'm off screen. Thank you. Let's move that. There you go. Okay. And Carla, member for 2 months. Thank you so much for renewing your membership. I sure do appreciate it. There's one for Ava. There's one for Xena. I'm so happy that I have people like Weapons here, just pointing out all of my flaws and errors. Yes, I was late. I'm sorry. But I will go late. I will go past 9:30 if that's what it takes to get the job done. So I tell my boss that all the time too. He's cool with it. You guys should be cool with it too. Okay. Is that music too loud? I don't think I like it. Let me get the tabs pulled up. So this first story is out of Georgia. So I will, like I said, we're going to do this one first, and then we'll get to the one that's in the thumbnail, right? What am I doing? This button. All right, here we go. This one is, like I said, out of North Atlanta suburbs. And it's about a bad cop. You guys know how when there's a bad cop, I need to call them out because anytime there's a bad cop, it really takes away from all the good that police officers do on a day-to-day basis. So when there's a bad cop, we need to hold them up in front of the town and point at them and ridicule them because They should be held to higher standards than anybody else. If they're enforcing the rules, they need to be held to the highest of standards, and this guy apparently, did not do that.
Veteran with the Milton Police Department, Christopher Bradshaw, is now in jail, charged in a deadly hit and run. Hello, and thanks for joining us tonight for News Edge at 11. I'm Christine Spiro. News Edge reporter Denise Dillon is live in Cobb County on the story. So Denise, Bradshaw is now out of a job.
That's right. Bradshaw has been fired from the Milton Police Department. He was a lieutenant and had been with the department for 14 years. But tonight, he is locked up right here in the Cobb County Jail. 48-year-old Christopher Bradshaw, who has been in law enforcement for 17 years, is charged
Are you guys there? Can you hear me? Hello? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me, please, I should say. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello, hello? Are you guys there? Can you hear me? Okay, you guys can hear me. I think you guys can hear me. Holy cannoli, that was crazy. Oh my goodness. My whole system just shut down. The whole thing. I don't know. I'm flabbergasted. I think Waffle Salter is correct in the fact that I do need a new computer. He did send me links. You know, let me fix my camera. I don't know if anybody was hanging out during game night last night, but Waffle Salter, who is, one of my fans, I guess, friends, he works in computers, and we were having issues last night with stuff running properly. And he said to me, "Hey, Katie, you need a new computer." Or first he said it was the internet, and then I showed him my speed, and my speed is on the internet is fine. He's like, "Okay, so you might need a new computer." And I said, "Okay, well, you know about computers, so could you send me links to what you think I need to do what I'm doing?" Computers are freaking expensive. The one he sent me was on sale for $1,000 off. So you don't even want to know how much it was, but it was $1,000. I was on sale with $1,000 discount. So I'm not sure I need that nice of a computer. I would love to get that nice of a computer, but it was like $2,500 or something like that. Who's got that? I mean, come on. I would rather have a computer that's not as good and have extra money to donate to the charities that I support or to other creators or something like that. You know what I'm saying? $2,500 is a lot. I'm not going to get a Mac Mini waffle or legal fiction. Come on now. I did see right before my computer took a dump right on my desk that you had donated memberships. I cannot get back to that to put it on the screen, but I'm going to give the dogs a good milk bone or a good, one of these things. Oh, and I'm going to split it in half. So if anybody else makes a nice donation tonight, they can each have another half. Thank you so much, Legal Fiction, for supporting the show. I might need more support than I think if the computer keeps crashing. Ridiculous. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. As I was filibustering just now, I did get links or tabs pulled up so we can get back to where we were. Weapons thinks that $2,500 is chump change for computers. I'm kind of a chump, and I don't have that kind of change. So anybody who does, feel free to shoot. Just if you just get the computer from Micro Center in the Atlanta area, I will go pick it up. How about that? Okay. Yikes. What is happening? Back to this story. I'm just going to start it from the beginning. This is that guy. He's an officer in Milton, Georgia, and he was driving on 75 just toward, I think he was driving north towards Milton, like towards where he lives. Let's see what happens.
A veteran with the
Love highlighting bad cops over here. Bad cops need to get out of the department. I don't know what you heard, and I don't know when it cut out. So if there's a bad cop and other cops don't call it out, they are also bad cops. If there's a bad cop and the other officers see what's going on, and this person is in prison right now or in jail, that's what needs to happen when there's bad cops around.
The Milton Police Department, Christopher Bradshaw, is now in jail, charged in a deadly hit and run. Hello, and thanks for joining us tonight for News Edge at 11. I'm Christine Spiro. News Edge reporter Denise Dillon is live in Cobb County on the story. So Denise, Bradshaw is now out of a job.
That's right. Bradshaw has been fired from the Milton Police Department. He was a lieutenant and had been with the department for 14 years. But tonight, he is locked up right here in the Cobb County Jail. 48-year-old Christopher Bradshaw, who has been in law enforcement for 17 years, is charged with vehicular homicide and felony hit and run after a fatal wreck on I-75 in Marietta. Last Wednesday, Fox 5 told you about a deadly wreck on the interstate. Two tractor-trailers collided. When the drivers got out to check the damage, police say someone in a Chevy Silverado hit and killed one of the truckers, 36-year-old Terrell Loudermilk from Chattanooga.
It's with heavy heart that we have to report that the truck driver involved in the auto accident this morning was struck and killed and then left for dead on the roadway.
Marietta police investigators started searching for the driver of that Chevy Silverado. They collected evidence at the scene, talked to witnesses, and checked cameras.
The Department of Transportation does have numerous cameras up and down the interstate.
And they asked the public for help.
Someone knows where this vehicle is and who would have been driving it. Please contact the Marietta Police Department.
In a little more than 48 hours, they found the pickup and identified the driver as Christopher Bradshaw, the same man who has worn a Milton police badge for the last 14 years and had risen to the rank of lieutenant. Milton police say Bradshaw was not on duty at the time of the wreck. The department released a statement saying, upon our initial notification of the investigation, Bradshaw was immediately placed on administrative leave and has since been terminated from employment with the city of Milton. Before joining the Milton Police Department, Bradshaw worked for the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office for 3 years. And now Bradshaw is being held without bond. Reporting live in Cobb County, Denise Dillon, Fox 5 News.
As he should be being held without bond. As he should be. All right, to our main topic of the day. These tabs are not loading. What the heck? What the heck? Well, this is going to be a really short show if I can't pull anything up because my notes that I made for... Oh, did the notes save? The notes that I made for this episode are only like a couple of pages long. Okay, they're here. I see the notes. Very good.
This viral video shows a semi.
Okay, let's watch this first, and then I'll fill you in on what I found when I was researching this one a little bit, okay?
Driver allegedly making an illegal U-turn on the Florida Turnpike, killing 3 people. And now the Department of Homeland Security is getting involved. Let's get over to Fox 35's Stephanie Buffamonte. She is live here in the studio tonight. So, Stephanie, they say that driver was here in this country illegally.
Luann, that is right. This is, of course, a tragedy for the 3 people killed in the crash. But this crash is now the center of a political issue between the state of Florida, California, and the White House because the suspected truck driver is an Indian national who was allegedly in the U.S. illegally.
The Department of Homeland Security says this video is part of their investigation. It gives a view from inside the semi. DHS says it shows the exact moment that Harjinder Singh made an illegal U-turn.
Did you guys see that? If you weren't looking, like if you're just listening, look up for just a second. I want to show you what we see here and how just non-reactionary that this man is when he sees what he looks back and sees what's happening. Watch the driver's side window right here. He's making an illegal U-turn on the Florida Turnpike, which, correct me if I'm wrong, that's like a highway. That's like That'd be like making an illegal U-turn on the 75 or something like that.
Moment that Harjinder Singh made an illegal U-turn, turned his truck into traffic, and caused the crash that killed 3 people. It happened on Florida's Turnpike in St. Lucie County last week. The agency said in a press release, quote, his face shows no shock or remorse for his actions or the lives he destroyed. According to Florida Highway Patrol, Singh crossed the Mexico border illegally in 2018. Troopers say he was given a CDL license in California. I spoke with Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier.
In Florida, we do not allow illegal aliens to have driver's licenses or these CDL licenses. We're certainly at risk as a state because of the open border policies and the sanctuary policies of other states, which is why we're going to fight back. We're going to continue pursuing ways to identify individuals that might be trying to come into this state illegally and jeopardize the safety of Florida families.
DHS said in part, quote, how many more innocent people have to die before Gavin Newsom stops playing games with the safety of the American public? The governor of California responded, sharing this photo on X. His office says it is illegal to get a CDL license if someone is here illegally, but says the federal government gave Singh a work permit which would allow him to be eligible for the license. We reached out to his office. In a statement, a spokesperson told us this, quote, why don't you ask Trump about the driver's federally issued work permit and when he entered this country? Spoiler alert, it was in 2018 under Trump.
Spoiler alert, that is incorrect information, and I have the correct information. So whoever this Yahoo is that works at Gavin Newsom's office should probably fact check themselves before making statements to the press, is all I'm saying. I'll get to that here in just a minute.
Whoops, he would have been eligible in any state. California followed federal law.
I think maybe I should give the facts of this case in the same condescending way that this news briefing from a governor's office is written. Spoiler alert, and whoops, under Trump, whoops. Like, what kind of press people did you hire? Like somebody who just is in high school, just got out of high school? Like, did you hire like a Twitter warrior to do your press releases? What's happening? What is happening in California?
Something the president knows nothing about. Singh is facing 3 counts of vehicular homicide. If he's convicted,
Floridians should rest assured that this individual who took 3 lives will indeed serve time here in Florida before getting handed over to ICE and going back where he came from.
Now, Singh will be in court tomorrow afternoon. Live in the studio, Stephanie Buffmonti, Fox 35 News.
Thanks, Steph. Also, new details.
All right. Let me get a picture of him to put on the screen while I tell you about this guy. I'll just create my own music. Oh my gosh, my computer's crazy right now. Absolutely nuts. Holy cannoli. And apparently you guys are going crazy in my Discord right now, so I'm turning off notifications. So if you're trying to get a hold of me, remind me to turn the notifications back on. There we go. What the heck? All right. Well, I guess we're not going to have a picture of him. There, we'll put this one. We'll put this one up. Okay. So, Cellulite Yoga Pants, I want to give you a big shout out. I did these notes and then she was messaging me about this on Discord, and I asked her to read over my notes and make sure that I had everything correct and if there was nothing else to add to it. And she did. She's my editor now, I guess, for my show notes. But she went through and there was a couple of facts that I did not know that she added in here for me. And I did fact check her and she was correct as well. So Harjinder Singh was born in the mid-1990s and lived in India up until 2018 when he entered the state of California illegally by crossing the border with Mexico. 2 days after his entry, he was arrested by the Border Patrol and processed for a fast-track deportation. So, whoops. He was deported under Trump. Whoops. That lady. Anyway, in January of 2019, after telling the authorities that he was afraid to return to India, Harjinder was classified as an asylum seeker. He was released on a $5,000 bond and lived in Stockton, California. On September 14th, 2020, his work authorization was rejected by the Trump administration. Under the Trump administration, he was rejected and told to go back either to Mexico and wait there or back to India and wait there. That was in 2020. Excuse me. On June 9th, 2021, the authorization for Harjinger's was approved under the Biden administration. On July 15th, 2023, Harjinger received a regular full-time commercial driver's license from the state of Washington. Asylum seekers are not permitted to receive this type of CDL. On July 23rd, 2024, he received a limited term non-domiciled CDL from the state of California. On July 3rd, he was pulled over by the New Mexico State Police, who had given him a speeding ticket. As of June 2025, the police were required by law to give him an English language proficiency test, but California failed to do that, and that's where his license was out, as was California. California failed to give him his English competency exam. So, that U-turn sign, apparently he didn't understand that you can't make a U-turn there. It's in if you look at the thumbnail, there's a picture of the crash. The U-turn sign is in the photo, right where it happened. There was no U-turn sign right there. So California failed to give him his English language proficiency test. I guess they didn't know what a catastrophic move that was. On August 12th, 2025, Harjinger was driving for White Hawk Carriers, a trucking company based out of, can you guys guess? Yeah, California. White Hawk trucking company out of California. The trucking company is currently not able to operate because their insurance was canceled after this incident. So they are ineligible to operate right now. Let me just check something real quick. After my computer shut down, I didn't get everything pulled back up. So I want to do that real quick. Bam. There it is. I had my YouTube chat popped out, but not my Rumble chat. Pop out chat. Thank you. Okay, so he was driving where was I? A 2024 International LT 625 with an automatic transmission. He was pulling a refrigerated trailer, also known as a reefer, which I thought was a funny name for it, so I left it in there. This appeared to be a 53-foot trailer. The combination of the rig and the trailer, if it was not loaded, if there was nothing in it, we don't know if there was stuff in there or not, but it would have been 35,000 pounds if it was empty, and up to 80,000 pounds if it was loaded. So he's driving down the Georgia Turnpike in a tank. Seriously, when you're carrying that much weight, the minivan did not stand a chance against this truck. It's just ridiculous that this guy was even here. Riding in his passenger seat was a 25-year-old man named Harnett Singh. Harnett, the passenger, came here illegally in May of 2025 or 2023. Sorry. Thank you, Charmed Forever, for the $2 super chat. The dogs appreciate it. I needed a little break because I was getting angry. So I appreciate it. Bam. There's that. There's one for that one back there. Happy Sunday to you as well. Why is this not working? Nothing is working today. Okay. So yeah, his passenger, which I believe was his son. I can't be for sure about that. They have the same last name, right? Did I miss another? Okay, no. I saw people saying thank you to Legal Fiction, so I want to make sure. If I missed something, let me know, especially since my computer crashed a minute ago. So if anything came in while my computer was crashed, no idea. We're back now. It's fine. We're back. So Harjinder, I can't say that name, man. I've been trying. Harjinder was driving north on Florida's Turnpike at mile marker 171 around 3 p.m. For some reason, he decided to attempt a U-turn using a brake in the median. Now, these brakes in the median are usually for like police officers to turn around and stuff like that when they're trying to give you tickets, emergency vehicles, stuff like that. It's not for a tractor trailer to make a U-turn on the turnpike. As he made the U-turn, a 2015 Chrysler Town and Country minivan was traveling north in the passing lane. The minivan had 3 occupants. There was the driver was a 30-year-old man, and then the 2 passengers were a 37-year-old woman and a 54-year-old man. Now, both of the passengers died at the scene, but the driver made it to the hospital before he died. They took him to the hospital in Fort Pierce, Florida, and he unfortunately also passed away. So that tweet or whatever it was that person from the governor's office of California put out, that condescending, stupid comment that they put out, was completely wrong. Trump kicked him out. And Biden in 2020, and Biden said, no, that's okay. You can say, by the way, kicked him out. He never left. He said, you have to go back and then wait for the papers to be processed. He never went anywhere. And Biden just is like, nah, you can stay. It's fine. And then California decides to let this guy get a CDL driving a weapon down the highways that you and I are driving on, by the way. Without taking it, he can't read the road signs. He hasn't taken an English proficiency test. I don't mind. Actually, I like immigrants who come here legally, who work hard, who raise their families. I like them. My grandfather came here from England, and he worked hard. And he raised a family. And I like that. What I don't like is these people who come here and break the law. They come here illegally. That's first law broken. You were told to leave. You have to wait for your paperwork to be processed. They don't leave. That's another law broken. And then this BS where they're killing people. This is almost as bad. Now, I say almost, even though 3 people died in this, and the thing I'm about to talk about, only 1 person died, because I don't think that he intentionally killed people. But in my opinion, this is as bad or almost as bad as the dude that killed Laken Riley, who bashed her over the head with a rock and strangled her. People are dying. I understand that there are also people here who are American citizens killing people. I lived in Chicago. It happened all the time. But we we can't kick those people out. So let's just get rid of all. If we could take all of the criminals, whether they're United States citizens or not, and get them the heck out of here, I'd be fine with that. It's so frustrating. Okay.
Semi-truck driver accused of making an
Sorry, I pulled that chat up and then I was on a rant, so I don't think I did it. So, wake up treats, salmon for the kiddies on this end. Thank you so much, cool Clearwater family. Bam. I appreciate you. If you guys could hit the like button, if you're still here and you like anything that you've seen tonight, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, all of the things. Thank you.
illegal U-turn and causing a deadly crash is in jail in St. Lucie County tonight. Harjinder Singh was extradited back to Florida from California overnight. The feds say he's in the country illegally. Fox 35's Manny Martinez.
So cool Clearwater family said, our three amigas, mother is an immigrant. Papa sponsored her coming here and helped her through the process to become an American, which is wonderful. I actually, when I watch, online, sometimes they'll have those immigration ceremonies where they're swearing people in. I tear up. Because I love it so much. I love that we live in a place where everybody can mix together and become one thing. What I don't like is when people come here and they don't want to mix together. They want to be the oil in the water. They don't want to become part of the mix. They don't want to be like, there's a difference. There's a huge difference.
Martinez explains what's next for the suspect.
He's gonna face the music.
Harjinder Singh walked into the St. Lucie County Jail Friday, now facing 3 counts of vehicular homicide.
We'll hold him accountable, and he's gonna potentially.
Deputies say Singh was driving an 18-wheeler on the Florida Turnpike when he tried to make an illegal U-turn. That caused a minivan to slam into the side of the truck. 3 people died. The state of Florida says Singh should not have had a commercial driver's license. They say he was in the country illegally and worked for a trucking company in California. Governor DeSantis says he wants to go after that company, too.
We're going to be looking at what our remedies are, or maybe from the victims' families' remedies against a company that didn't seem to care about public safety.
Singh and his brother, who was the passenger in the semi, flew back to California after the crash. That's where Singh was arrested. He was brought back to Florida by plane with the Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins on Thursday. Also Thursday, Singh's brother Harneet arrested as well. The Department of Homeland Security says ICE took Harneet into custody, but did not say what charges he now faces. DHS says Harneet Singh was also in the country illegally.
The reality is those sanctuary policies in California are spilling over, and they are impacting people around the country. Unless these sanctuary jurisdictions like California are reined in, you are going to continue to expose Americans in other states to the problems that flow from not caring about borders or not caring about the rule of law.
Manny Martinez, Fox 35 News.
The Trump administration is halting visas for commercial truck drivers from outside the U.S., citing safety and English proficiency concerns. The State Department argues drivers who can't read signs or follow road laws pose a danger. The new rules build on an earlier executive order that the president signed requiring commercial drivers to understand traffic signs and communicate with U.S. officials.
It seems very common sense, like that people should be able to read the traffic signs in order to have a driver's license. Correct me if I'm wrong. And by the way, everybody is welcome here. If you disagree with me in the chat, let me know. I don't mind. I think having open conversations about this stuff is the only way to heal this country. So if you disagree, by all means, let me know your opinion and your point of view. I'd love to hear it. I love that the lieutenant governor went to California personally to bring this guy back. He's like, no, I'll go get him myself. Hold my beer. I'll get him myself. Okay. All right, here we go. I got it under control. This one, I think, is what I was trying to do. Okay.
Here comes Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins. You see him at Stockton Metropolitan Airport in Stockton, California, expected to talk here in just a minute about the extradition of Harjinder Singh, who is facing 3 counts of vehicular manslaughter here in the state of Florida. Governor DeSantis talking about sending him out there.
Well, while this is playing, I'm going to go back through the chat because I wasn't reading the chat when all of that was happening. But I want to see if I have any people that disagree with me, and we can maybe have a conversation about it.
To kind of facilitate that extradition, and let's go ahead and see as he begins to speak to reporters here at the airport in Stockton, California.
All right, can y'all see me okay? Everybody comfortable? Plenty of sun? Getting our vitamin D? All right, good. All right, well, first off, thanks for being here today. I appreciate it. I am Florida Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins. I've heard it asked, why on earth?
I would prefer to call myself a refugee from Chicago. I was in danger there. I was in lots of danger because it was Chicago.
All right, well, first off, thanks for being here today. I appreciate it. I am Florida Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins. I've heard it asked, why on earth is Lieutenant Governor coming across the country to be here? What I want you to know, this isn't business as usual. This isn't politics as usual. I am not your run-of-the-mill Lieutenant Governor. In the words of what I will say some left-leaning Californians, I don't identify as a politician. I identify as a God-fearing, gun-loving, freedom-defending, one-legged, retired Green Beret. And I want to set the tone based on that. So we're here today, and I don't want to be here today. We're here today because of tragedy. 3 lives lost. 3 Floridians' lives ended early. Now, why did this happen? What was the causatory problem that brought us to this point? Well, we're here in California because when this tragic accident happened and 3 Floridian lives were lost, he fled back to California, where in 2018 he illegally crossed the border, came here, and ended up getting a commercial driver's license, a CDL. When he was pulled off the side of the road, he answered 3 out of 16 questions properly. Why was he driving in the first place? He didn't have basic English proficiency, he didn't know the road signs, and yet he is driving a giant vehicle across our state. And let's not overstate, we cannot say this enough. 3 lives ended early because of that, because of failed border policy. Now, when you look at what we do here in Florida, or back in Florida, and why I'm here, we understand that leadership matters. You gotta be upfront, standing and being bold, even if it means standing alone, as I am today, because we believe in doing the right thing. We believe and will continue to lead on illegal immigration and immigration policy enforcement, and we're gonna make sure that this thug is brought to justice and faces it in Florida, and that those 3 lives lost early are given accountability and the justice they deserve. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what got us here. How many more lives have to be lost because of Gavin Newsom's failed policies? How many more lives have to be lost because of fentanyl, because of gangs, because of rampant disregard for American citizens? The fact of the matter is, Gavin Newsom continues to care more about tweets and what goes out on social media than taking care of the American citizens and the citizens of California. It's ridiculous. In Florida, we do just the opposite. It's not about words, it's about deeds. And that is why I'm here today, to make sure this guy is brought to justice right back in Florida, to let our folks know we will go to any step necessary to make sure that freedom remains, that justice is served, and the rule of law is held accountable. Thank you.
Lieutenant Governor, why do you personally want to escort the suspect to Florida? There's law enforcement, that's their job. But why do you personally want to do that?
Well, I think I kind of answered that already in my statement. But you know what? Let me be succinct and restate that. This isn't business as usual. This is about leadership. You have failed policies that got us here. Gavin Newsom, the state of California, has failed to take illegal immigration seriously. In Florida, we take it serious. We care about our citizens' lives. And I'm tired of other governors, of other people failing to step up and take accountability and take illegal immigration seriously. We're here today to make sure that this guy goes back to Florida, faces justice, and those 3 innocent lives lost get the justice they deserve. 3 lives lost because of Gavin Newsom, because of California's failed policies. We're done with that shit.
And to clarify,
Wow.
when the Florida law enforcement pulled him over, he could only answer 3 of the 14.
3 out of 16. 3 out of 16.
And that was when they pulled him over after this deadly crash.
Yes.
What do you do in Florida then, like to prevent something like this from happening? What are your Florida laws that California may look at?
So I'll tell you, we have led the way. President Trump has been incredibly clear on this. The American people gave him a mandate. And that mandate was to take illegal immigration seriously. Now, I want you to know this isn't a Republican issue. It's not a Democratic issue. It's not an independent issue. It's an American issue. We all take this seriously because of fentanyl, because of gangs, because of the taxpayer dollars being spent out of pocket to take care of people that, frankly, don't belong here. The initial crime is illegally crossing our border. I can promise you, I just got back from Israel and the Middle East not long ago, where we were back there bringing American citizens home, bringing them back here. If you did this in another nation, in the Middle East, in South America, in Europe, you will be held accountable. There are laws and their borders do matter. Why is it different here? I'm here to tell you, America first matters. Putting Americans first is part of that. And I think you guys need to step up, take the 287G agreement seriously. You need to work with federal law enforcement, and you need to understand that you're citizens. Because I brought back a lot of people from California, from Israel, when we were out there dodging ballistic missiles. They're concerned about illegal immigration. Each and every one of them brought it up. And they wouldn't have voted for me if they could have, frankly. They weren't in they weren't Republican voters, right? The truth of the matter is this: you guys have failed to understand what the American people want, what your citizens want, and you got to take it serious. I'm happy to sit down and explain more and more details as we go on, but listen to your people. Take immigration seriously and make a difference for the citizens of this state and this country. Ma'am.
Yes, sorry, Josie Hart with Fox 40. And I'm sorry, I have to ask kind of the tough question, but we were talking to some folks this morning. They felt like, your presence here may be a little performative, or they question, is it necessary? Just what is your response? What's the message you want to send?
Well, I think I answered that in the beginning, right? Now, I think your governor said this was just out here for media attention, right? What a bunch of hogwash. I don't think he understands the first thing about leadership. Leadership is getting on the ground and saying the hard things. This isn't our home turf, right? I am out here answering questions in California because I believe in protecting our citizenry that much. I believe in leadership that matters. This is not performative. This is what leadership should be. I dream of the kind of America and the kind of Florida, and frankly, I hope and pray that California gets their stuff together and the voters are listening, where your governor, your leadership cares more about American citizens and California citizens rather than making laws that support illegal immigration, that put people's lives at risk, and they don't take this serious. This matters. It is not performative, and I'm here to make sure things happen the right way.
Governor, you mentioned that the suspect fled back to California. How was he able to escape Florida state lines in the first place after facing such a serious incident?
So, appreciate your question. So, again, what are we talking about here? It's illegal immigration issues. He fled here because of the failed policies, these open border nonsense, the fact that you want to be a sanctuary state here because Gavin Newsom fails to understand his own citizens, and the American citizens have given President Donald J. Trump a mandate. Governor Ron DeSantis has led on this. That gentleman, that thug, fled back here because he knew those policies would defend him. That's what we're dealing with. We're going to get him back home. He's going to face justice, and that's what we're going to continue to do. How many more lives have to be lost? You guys got to get it right here. I got time for one or two more, Brian?
Lieutenant Governor, why didn't Florida Highway Patrol arrest him on the scene? It seemed pretty obvious from the scene that he was trying to make an illegal U-turn.
So, when we're talking about that, you're talking about the actual incident on the ground?
Yep.
So let's walk through that. He was driving his vehicle. Again, he never should have been behind the wheel, right? Why did he get a license? If he couldn't speak English, he didn't know road signs, you're focused on something that's nonsense when he shouldn't have got a license in California to freaking begin with. It's wrong. It's unacceptable. He was there. 3 lives were lost because he got a license when he shouldn't have. Those people died, and then he fled back to California. Ultimately, we're going to make sure that justice is served. We're going to make sure that he is brought and put in front of the legal system, and that those lives get the justice they deserve. One more question, and we got to get moving.
Was he on a work visa? And how does
I can't hear you.
Was he on a work visa, and how does that apply between states?
So his legal status, I know there's been a lot of discussion on this. I think we have to continue to talk about the fact that in 2018, he illegally crossed into California. He played the sanctuary game. He stepped into California's failed, lax policies that have been here for years. And Gavin Newsom has continued to fail, continued to step into those. This state has led to how many lives being lost across our country? How many more people have to die from fentanyl, from gang activity, from illegal immigration problems before you guys take it serious, before Gavin Newsom takes it serious? In Florida, we do just the opposite. We take it serious. Now, guys, I do apologize. We're going to have to go. I know we're on a timeline. We don't want to miss those hacks. But I do want to thank each of you for being here today. It's incredibly important. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us and have some conversation. Y'all have a great day. God bless.
Do you know how many Florida residents?
He's like, I'm
Lieutenant
out.
Governor Jay Collins speaking there at Stockton Metropolitan Airport in Stockton, California, as he announces the extradition of Harjinder Singh, blaming what happened on the policies of California, specifically calling out the governor a number of times, saying why was he able to have a driver's license in the first place. He was asked by one of those reporters at the end there why Singh was not arrested at the scene of this instead of letting him go from that scene. And then we obviously know Singh went back to California, which is why this whole extradition process is going on. The lieutenant governor did not really answer that, but did say, again, kind of deflected and said that he should not have had a license to begin with, talking about him Singh crossing the border illegally in 2018 and getting that commercial driver's license from the state of California. We know that Governor DeSantis has said he wanted Singh to come back here so they could throw the book at him. Those were the words he used yesterday. And there was also more discussion today about Singh not being able to read the road signs. And I do have a quick update I want to show you here from social media. Senator Ashley Moody from Florida tweeting this earlier today on X, saying if you're a commercial truck driver in America, being able to read the road signs in English isn't optional, it's the job. She says she's announcing new legislation to prevent what we saw just happen in my home state, where an illegal alien killed 3 Floridians. Today we say no more careless disregard for the rule of law. Details soon. So it seems there may be some legislation that is filed shortly on that. So we are still monitoring that and awaiting the arrival of Singh following his extradition.
Things that should have been laws already. Am I right? Like, why is this not already a nationwide law that you have to be able to read the road signs in order to be a commercial driver of any time, not even just a truck driver, a commercial driver of any kind, whether that be Uber, whether that be, long haul trucking, whether you're driving a bread truck, delivering bread from bakeries. If you're driving for a job, you need to be able to read the signs. And let's take it one step further. To get a driver's license at all, you should be able to read the signs. They should not offer the driver's exams in other languages not because we hate people that speak other languages, because all of the signs are written in English. You have to at least be able to read the signs. Okay, thank you very much, Todd 181 for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Ava definitely appreciates it. She perked right up. Zena back there might wake up for it. There she is. Oh, Zena did wake up for it. Let's see if she can catch this. Should we take bets in the chat if Zena will catch this or not? I'm going to guess no. No, she didn't, and it bounced off of her face, and Ava got it. So let's give her 2 this time. I'm going to actually get up to make sure she gets it. Zena. There you go. Do a shake. Thank you. All right. Let's scroll to make sure I didn't miss anything. I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. Here we have update. Update. By the way, I did see in the chat when I was rereading that the video wasn't playing. It's not that the video wasn't playing, it's that the video wouldn't load. I always preload everything so it doesn't use up all the RAM that I own. So when the computer logged back on, it tried to load everything at once and everything was having, I think we're good now. I think it's caught up with itself, but that's what was happening there.
Live now from Fox, 11:44 on the East Coast, 8:44 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and I'm here to bring you all of your top stories and live events from across the country and across the world. We do have new details after an undocumented migrant truck driver was charged with causing a crash that killed 3 people in Florida. The suspect was arrested over the weekend on 3 counts of vehicular homicide. And as I said, there is a lot of information coming out here. Jonathan Seri with Fox News joining us now live to discuss much more about all of this and that new information. Jonathan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Obviously, a lot of eyes on this story.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's becoming a political hot potato between red and blue states. Always good to be with you, Josh. That trucker you were talking about is 28-year-old
Trucker, please. Thank you so much, Cool Clearwater family. Hannah this time for the $5 super chat. That's amazing. You guys are amazing. You guys are too good to me. Oh, Ava's very close now. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. There she is. Do you shake? That's not a shake. That's a lick. Shake. Shake. Oh, there she is. She strained to shake my hand just now. Strained. It was a lot of work for her. So...
Harjinder Singh, an Indian national who crossed over to the U.S. through the Mexican border illegally. He was arrested 2 days later. This was back in 2018, but then was released to allow him to go through the courts because he was claiming that he was living in fear of returning back to his country of origin. He is expected to be returned to Florida later this week to face prosecution for state charges of vehicular homicide. Singh, who's being held without bail in San Joaquin County, California, appeared in court with an interpreter yesterday. He agreed to sign paperwork for his extradition, and Florida authorities must pick him up by August 27. Singh was driving on Florida's Turnpike last week when authorities say he attempted an illegal U-turn, blocking oncoming traffic. A minivan slammed into the trailer, killing 3 Florida residents inside. Following the wreck, investigators with the U.S. Department of Transportation gave Singh an English language proficiency test. According to a DOT press release, the driver failed the assessment, providing correct responses to just 2 of 12 verbal questions and only accurately identifying 1 of 4 highway traffic signs. Because Singh, who entered the U.S. from Mexico in 2018, is an asylum seeker from India, the DOT says Washington State violated federal guidelines by issuing him a full-term commercial driver's license in 2023. And they say New Mexico State Police appear to have failed to assess his English skills during a roadside inspection earlier this year. Additionally, the DOT says it's investigating whether California acted within federal guidelines when it issued Singh a limited-term CDL in 2024.
You have people that are in Congress that are complaining about what happened, and while I appreciate the sympathy, it's like you guys have the power of the purse. You can discipline these states that don't follow the law and incentivize law breaking.
And Singh was driving for California-based White Hawk Carriers Incorporated. DOT officials say that company is part of their investigation, Josh.
And Jonathan, what do we know about the status of the trucking company altogether?
Yeah, well, we looked at DOT records. According to DOT records over the past 24 months, there are no previous records of this company being involved in any crashes. That being said, DOT records also show that the company's insurance has been revoked. So currently, it is not authorized to operate there in the state of California, Josh.
All right, Jonathan Sari, as I mentioned, a lot of eyes on that story, so we'll keep in touch as we gather the latest. Thank you again for taking the time to be here.
My pleasure, Josh.
Wow. All right. So let me know what you guys think about that whole story. I mean, I already went off about my opinion. I think that people who are here illegally should not be. I also think that we should welcome people who are here legally. I also think that you should be able to read English road signs if you're driving in the United States. That pretty much sums it up. Let's move on. This story was sent to me by my friend Frank. So let's see what it is. Frank only sends me the good stuff. Only the good stuff from Frank. This says, driver stops for gas in the middle of a high-speed police chase and still manages to get away. The individual was running from police after allegedly stealing a car. The man was seen looking right into the camera of the police helicopter as he stopped to get some gas. The subject hit speeds of up to 100 miles an hour during the pursuit. Eventually, the pursuit ended when the man ditched the car under a freeway overpass out of sight from the chopper. The driver was able to escape and is not in custody.
Aware of the helicopters, but
he got away.
Southbound
Let's
Long
watch.
Beach now making another westbound turn here, finding another gas station. Might even be the same one. He must be low on gas. Driver stepping out of the vehicle. And he's going to drop it right here. Banding. Oh, he's going to get gas.
Wow.
This driver nervously getting gas after feeling some degree of relief here, although you...
Did you see his... First of all, he was just out of his car without this thing on his face, and then all of a sudden he's got his shirt up like this. It's like, nobody will recognize me. Nobody will recognize the car that I'm driving and me if I have my shirt just like this. They won't see me. I'm invisible now, guys. Can you tell I'm invisible now?
Feeling some degree of relief here, although you could tell he's still very animated. He's got his shirt covering his face. Clearly aware of the helicopters, but pretty unaware of the fact that he's pretty much on his own down there. There's really nobody pursuing him anymore. All of the law enforcement has pulled off. LAPD has abandoned this pursuit. California Highway Patrol has sent their helicopter off to other assignments. So it looks like he is really just, he's got a little wad of cash there, maybe. I mean, he couldn't be acting any more suspicious, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he looks very suspicious. Not putting the pump back is just plain rude. Come on.
Just dropping the drop. This is wild scene here as he just drops the pump and continues on after a quick splash of gas. Now back on the run here, but there's nobody behind him as he continues to drive like a maniac through here. And now getting back onto Long Beach Boulevard. There's CHP now, just about one block behind him, with lights and sirens blaring, and come out the other side of this overpass. Or he could pull the class.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if that's the way they caught this guy? Is if he put in his rewards card number to the gas? Like, I assume he had to use his credit card, right? How have they not caught this guy? He didn't go in to put like $20 on pump 7. He must have used his credit card. How on God's green earth have they not caught this guy yet?
Move. There he is. He's coming out the other side. No, that's not him. He is now underneath. He's out.
He bailed.
He's out. He pulled it. He bailed under the freeway, and the vehicle is rolling. Law enforcement pulling up here, spotting the lonely vehicle, the empty vehicle, and that suspect is on foot right behind them. You have to presume that he is now hiding underneath the 10 freeway. And that vehicle just rolled into a light pole, and the pursuit is over, and now it becomes a manhunt for that suspect, that driver who pulled maybe the smartest move of his night underneath the 10 freeway, just dumping the vehicle where he was out of sight from law enforcement, out of sight from the helicopters, and gosh, if he walks away from this, I tell you, this was a wild one, Mark.
Indeed. Well,
Indeed. That was crazy. All right, so this next one is in New York. Let's go to New York. Let's see what's happening in New York. Just check in on New York for a minute. New York club shooting. 3 people dead, multiple others wounded inside the club. This is from KHOU 11.
Good morning. The information I'm about to provide is preliminary and subject to change. I'm going to brief you on a shooting incident that occurred earlier this morning in the Crown Heights neighborhood of Brooklyn. The details are as follows. At approximately 3:27 a.m., the 911 call center started receiving multiple 911 calls about a shooting inside of 903 Franklin Avenue, which is a lounge known as Taste of the City. Officers arrived within minutes of the first 911 calls and found numerous gunshot victims inside of the location. Currently, we have identified 11 victims ranging in age from 27 to 61, 8 males and 3 females. 3 of the victims have already been pronounced: 1 male age 27, 1 male age 35, and 1 male of an unknown age. The 8 remaining victims are at local area hospitals with what is being described right now as non-life-threatening injuries. We are withholding victims' names pending family notifications, and the investigation into this incident is ongoing. What we know preliminarily is that there was a dispute inside of the crowded club that led to the shooting. We have multiple shooters involved in this shooting, and we have recovered at least 36 shell casings so far from what appears to be multiple guns. At this time, no one is in custody. Our detectives are canvassing available CCTV video in and around the location. Our detectives have also recovered a firearm in the vicinity of Bedford Avenue and Eastern Parkway. We're investigating at this time.
Do you guys think this is a gang type of thing? When I first saw the headline, I was thinking the first thought was like the Pulse nightclub shooting. But the more she's talking, the more I'm thinking that this is some sort of like gang thing happening here in New York.
Whether this firearm was tied to the shooting incident, I'll now take a few brief questions.
Any questions? Yes, it's the magnitude. What's the magnitude of this type of shooting that your department's dealing with right now?
Well, we have, 11 people shot? 11 people shot, 3 dead. It's a terrible shooting that occurred in the city of New York. It's no other way to...
And it's been a pretty quiet, or lower numbers of shootings.
Yeah, I mean, We have the lowest number of shooting incidents and shooting victims 7 months into the year that we've seen on record in the city of New York. Something like this is, of course, thank God, an anomaly, and it's a terrible thing that happened this morning, but we're going to investigate it and get to the bottom of what went down.
Next, CBS.
Is there any history of prior shootings taking place inside this location or lounge?
Yeah, we need to confirm this, but I did hear that there was a shooting at this location, non-fatal, in, I believe, November of 2024.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Were there any, that you're aware of, any metal detectors or anything where they would have checked for weapons?
I don't know at this time.
All right, thank you.
They're acting like November of 2024 is just so long ago. So it doesn't happen that often. It was November of 2024. That's less than a year ago. It's less than a year ago. What are we doing? All right. Let's see what the people are saying. Multiple guns. Yeah. Yeah. Idiots just beefing. Sounds like it. The youth in this country. Ava, nobody wants to see that. Lay down. Thank you. Like to solve things with guns, not words. It's sad. Yeah, that's why I think, like I was saying in that first story or the second story, I guess it was, that we, even if we disagree, we need to talk about it, right? So if you disagree with anything I'm saying, tell me about it in the chat. I'd be happy to have a conversation for sure. Yeah, I just ended my normal Friday night. Oh, sorry. That's not about what we're talking about. Sorry. But yeah, John Lind has a great stream, a great channel. He shows body cams kind of like Kfar and I do on Wednesdays and Fridays. I had to look up the Pulse nightclub shooting. Yeah, that was it was very tragic. Yep. All right, we're going to go back to Florida. We'll go back to Florida. We were in Florida. We went to New York. We're going back to Florida. Judge halts new septic permits to protect manatees in Florida, which we should be protecting manatees. I tell you what, I know it's illegal to pet a manatee. I get it. But if I'm swimming and a manatee comes up and nudges me, it will be awfully difficult for me not to pet that. I mean, pet that manatee. I was going to say pet that dog. They look like giant sea puppies, right? They're very cute. They're way too cute.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog?
Same thing would happen with a black bear. If a black bear came up to me and nudged me, and I'm talking about black bears, not grizzly bears or polar bears, a black bear, and was nudging me to pet it, I would definitely want to pet it as well. I get it. I totally get it.
Disheartening. We shouldn't have the government fighting us on cleaning up the environment and saving wildlife.
Katrina Shaddix and the wildlife protection group Bear Warriors United once again battling the state of Florida over protecting manatees. We recently saw firsthand where the manatees are starving to death in Florida's Indian River Lagoon, which stretches from Palm Beach County to Daytona Beach. The lagoon is where manatees come for the warm water, but in recent years, the northern end of the lagoon has been a death trap for them.
All these homes along the lagoon that are on septic tanks are slowly leaking literally tons of nitrogen and phosphorus into the system.
Marine biologist Peter Borelli says those pollutants are being released by septic tanks and water treatment facilities along the lagoon and are fueling algae growth in the water, which is causing the manatee's main food source, seagrass, to die.
So this algae is reducing light down to the seagrasses, essentially smothering them and killing them.
Between December 2020 and April 2022, more than 1,200 manatees died of starvation in this area. Now, Florida's Department of Environmental Protection is appealing a ruling a federal judge issued in the spring that the department violated the Federal Endangered Species Act. As a result, the judge temporarily halted the approval of any new septic tank permits along the lagoon. That ruling followed a 2022 lawsuit in which Bear Warriors United sued Florida's Department of Environmental Protection to help protect the manatees.
They suffered immensely and for a very long time.
There was lax leadership from the state of Florida.
I want to boop its snoot. I would never actually pet the manatees, obviously. I'm just saying I would want to. I would want to pet the manatees. I wouldn't, but I would want to.
For decades that allowed this problem to get worse and worse.
The judge found a definitive causal link between Florida's Department of Environmental Protection wastewater regulations and the ongoing risk to manatees. Then, in May, he agreed to what was essentially a wish list from Bear Warriors United, things they wanted the state to fix on behalf of the manatees. In addition to halting septic tank permits, Florida was required to submit a plan to monitor manatees' health and set up a supplemental feeding program for manatees in this lagoon. In its latest court filing, Florida's Department of Environmental Protection says it's not them, but Florida's Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission that is responsible for wildlife issues, arguing the judge is insisting the wrong agency make the required changes.
FDEP is beating a dead horse. It's already been decided by a judge, a federal court judge.
We reached out to both the Florida Department of Environment.
Maybe not say beat a dead horse when we're talking about animals. We shouldn't beat any horses, dead or alive.
Environmental Protection and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, but neither provided a response to our questions.
We're not going to stop until we convince the government to save the manatees from extinction.
Are you hopeful the manatee population will come back here?
Now that we won this lawsuit, we think we have a really good chance of working with the state to make sure the manatees don't go extinct on our watch.
Yeah. I am all for it. We need to save the manatees, just like in the 80s we needed to save the whales. I am very interested in protecting the environment. I think that we only have one Earth and we need to take care of it. Personally, that's just my opinion. I enjoy nature. I enjoy going for hikes and being out in nature, and it drives me absolutely bonkers when I see somebody littering, or if I'm walking down a beautiful, pristine trail. We have many in the area, like hiking trails and stuff like that, and somebody has just like thrown their Snickers wrapper on the ground. What are you doing? Why would you do that? It's so selfish. It's like the epitome of selfishness to litter anywhere, let alone in a pristine forest. Legal fiction is assuring me that they're not going to go extinct, but either way, if we're killing their food supply by dumping our shit into the water. I just watched it just reminded me of this video I watched the other day about what was the name of that band? There was a band that dumped their septic tank from their tour bus into the Chicago River, and it just so happened there was a tour bus going by, or a tour boat. The Chicago has these architectural riverboat tours where it goes up and down the Chicago River, and like there's a lot of very interesting architecture in Chicago. It's a great, if you're ever going to Chicago, highly recommend. It's I don't know, like $60 or something like that, but well worth it. You go on a little boat ride. You get to go through the locks. Chicago has locks to go out into the lake, and it has a lot of history about the building. Chicago was the first place where they built skyscrapers. I don't know. I know it's in this country. It might be in the world. I'm not sure about that one, but it was Dave Matthews. Thank you, Mr. Zed. I knew somebody would know. Yeah, the Dave Matthews Band dumped their poop on some poor tourists on a riverboat cruise in Chicago. That's what it reminds me of. Dumping the poop into the manatees' water. Just dumping on them. This one says, Smokey the Bear arrests man for stealing his sign in Florida. Get him, Smokey. I should be wearing my Smokey the Bear shirt right now. I should be, but I'm not. I do own a Smokey the Bear shirt. I will wear it on stream. If Mr. Zed is listening, remind me the next time I'm on air, which is Wednesday, to wear my Smokey the Bear shirt for the people.
At 6, only you can prevent
Oh my
forest
gosh, he's
fires
actually
and apparently theft.
He's actually there. They got the dude in the Smokey the Bear outfit to arrest this guy. Oh. This reminds me, they should have had this guy. Remember that story we covered a couple of weeks back where Chuck E. Cheese got arrested? They should have had Smokey the Bear arrest Chuck E. Cheese. Now that would make a good thumbnail.
Smokey the Bear actually helped make an arrest in Orange County after he saw a suspect stealing signs of, wait for it, himself. Yeah. Department of Agriculture officials say somebody was actually driving around Florida stealing Smokey the Bear signs from our state parks. So now that person will pay the price. Evan Axelbeck reports.
Smokey the Bear has always had a nose for trouble. In this case, he also had a thumbs up.
Smokey is always around our forests, and just like you got lucky today that he saw the bad guy and got him in cuffs.
From Pensacola to Panama City to Orlando, 450 miles, the Commissioner of Agriculture says this suspect was going to state parks, finding Smokey the Bear signs like this one, and stealing them.
What an idiot. What an idiot.
But it wasn't just for fun. Law enforcement officers with the Department of Agriculture say the suspect was posting the signs for sale on Facebook Marketplace for $1,900 a piece.
He goes to schools. He's known by our children. He's known by our families. He's known throughout the United States. Who goes and steals an image of Smokey Bear and then tries to profit off of that?
The theft shed a spotlight on the state's effort to prevent forest fires, which destroyed 24,000 acres in 2024. They've done 277,000 acres of controlled burns this year, spent $93 million on upgraded equipment. And yes, they dispatched Smokey to remind us that only you can prevent forest fires. It's also why the Department of Agriculture has their own law enforcement. They caught this thief in the act.
If you're going to go in and commit crimes in our forests, you probably need to find a different place. Not only will you find Smokey in some of those forests, but you'll find our parole officers.
This time, Smokey got his revenge. He's not throwing this criminal haphazardly into the woods. He's bringing him to jail.
We're the most pro-law enforcement state in the union. Smokey Bear's on the job also.
Criminal charges are ahead for this sticky-fingered Smokey stealer. Evan Axelbank, Fox 13 News.
It's so silly to steal the sign. Like, you could make yourself the exact same sign. You don't have to steal it. You can really get a Shopify account, make yourself a metal sign. You could order one. There's no need. I don't understand the draw. Also, I don't understand who would pay that much money. Did he say $1,900? $1,900 for a Smokey the Bear sign? That's crazy. I'm getting a message from some person in the chat that says we were at the beach a few years ago and the manatees just rolled up on us while we were in the ocean. Names mentioned. And crimes committed. No, I'm kidding. She's got pictures of her with manatees. That's amazing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This was the one I want to share. Okay. Yeah, of all the things to steal, exactly. Of all the things. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I get distracted very easily. All right, here's a heart-warming story. It's kind of scary at first, but it's got a happy ending, I promise. 2 teens survive after being stranded in the ocean for 16 hours. Is this not what nightmares are made of? Every time I'm on a cruise ship or out in the ocean somewhere where I can't see land anywhere, this is my nightmare of just being left in the ocean by myself. At least they had a paddleboard.
These teens are kicking up their feet in Times Square, happy to be alive. Even the simple act of eating a pretzel is precious.
Thanks for joining us, Carla. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you renewing your membership. That's amazing. Please hit the like button on your way out if you like what we do. You hit the dislike if you don't like it. That's fine, too. I appreciate you, Carla.
And why not? After all, they recently survived a nightmare that could have killed them. Avery, Brian, and Eva Aponte were stranded in rough seas off the coast of Florida on an inflatable paddleboard for 16 hours. But they survived, and now they're sharing their harrowing story with Inside Edition.
Where were you guys going?
So it was low tide out, and the water looked pretty nice. It looked smooth, and we decided, oh, it's a great time to go to the sandbar because we can see it.
We walked in like hip deep and then got on the board and started like paddling.
But when it was time to return home, disaster struck.
The current was very strong.
They were stranded.
You guys, your lives were in danger.
Absolutely, like 100% our lives were in danger. We were both out there in 40-degree weather with sweatshirts on and shorts on the water. I mean, throughout the night, both of us had trouble keeping our hearts beating.
The hours wore on. They did everything to keep warm.
And I had her laying on top of me, and at that point, like, our breathing had synced up, and it was very slow. It was kind of like if somebody's in a really, really deep slumber.
You guys heard helicopters overhead?
They went over us 4 times. We were yelling and we were trying to wave our arms out the side, and we picked up the paddle and we just started waving it around.
They ended up here on top of an oyster bed filled with razor.
Okay. Quick tip. If this happens to you in this situation, they said they were waving and yelling. First of all, the helicopter's not going to hear you. But I understand, like, that's your first instinct. What you want to do instead of waving the paddle, splash the paddle, because it will cause a disturbance in the water, and that'll be easier for the helicopter pilot to pick up. Like, they'll be able to see that if you're like splashing rather than just waving the paddle. I hope none of you ever find yourself in this situation, but if you do, I hope that tip helps you.
Sharp shells. Eva still has the scratches on her hand, and there's blood stains on the paddleboard.
This is my blood from where I got off and stupidly fell into the oysters. At one point, she grabbed my shoulders and she was like, Eva, I cannot die out here.
Back on land, their parents alerted police and the Coast Guard.
Do you guys have a rescue vessel or something like that could go and see if they're stranded out there?
A desperate search was launched, and with thousands of square miles to cover, the call went out for civilians with boats to take to the Gulf.
The more boats we can get out here, the better.
At daybreak, these 4 friends also went out on an airboat. They had a strategy to find the girls, knowing they were on an inflatable paddleboard.
That changed the whole perspective on where to search in our heads, knowing that with an inflatable object like that, you're going to follow the wind pattern less than the current pattern.
30 minutes in, a miracle. There they were.
They were waving at us, and we're like, that's them.
Unbelievable news! They found the 2 girls.
I remember they asked us, they're like, are you guys the missing girls? And I was like, I think so. What's their names?
The rescuers carried the girls on their shoulders. They were too weak to stand. Here are Eva and Avery shortly after being rescued. With warm clothing and blankets, they snuggled on the airboat wearing headphones.
I'm glad that I experienced this with my best friend. I mean, I don't want anybody else to experience it because it's not fun.
Thank goodness those girls were rescued. That is just so scary to me. Like, just the thought of being lost at sea is terrifying for me. Thank you very much, Legal Fiction, for the $5 super chat. Treats for the manatees. I think the only manatee we have here is Xena's kind of manatee-like. Let's see. There she is. Xena, will you shake? Do you think you can do it? Okay. She's ready. Oh, yes, girl. Good girl. All right. Now, Ava knows how to do this, but she is super stubborn. So you guys can take bets in the chat if she's going to do it or not. You ready? You shake. Shake. Oh, yes. Such a strain. You see what I mean? She knows what she's supposed to do, but then she's like, can I get away with not doing it? Will I still get the milk bone if I don't do it? So I have to bribe her to actually do the thing. Next story. That one is about a dog. I want to save that for the end because we need puppies at the end, right? That is a 30-minute video. I'm doing that. All right, we'll do this one. So stalkers are bad, right? Nobody likes a stalker. Have any of you ever had a stalker? I've had a couple now. I used to have a story about just one stalker I had when I was in high school. Now I got lots of stalking stories. This poor woman. Listen to this. This is speaking of horrifying, being stuck in the ocean, horrifying. Being stuck on an airplane with your stalker, I would say equally as terrifying.
It was very scary, very creepy. I felt extremely violated.
This airline passenger was waiting to board a flight when she received a strange text on her cell phone. Hey, Ashley, how are you? 34-year-old Ashley Barno didn't recognize the phone number. Moments later came this. You are looking very gorgeous in that gray top today.
I'm just like looking around and trying to figure out who is watching me.
Ashley says her anxiety grew when the man texting her claimed to work for American Airlines. He said his name was Ahmad. It was about to get even creepier after Ashley boarded her flight from San Diego to Chicago.
That's a long flight.
Are you going to Chicago too? Ahmad asked. Yep.
I'm trying to think, have I ever flown from San Diego to Chicago? And the only thing I can think of is once I was going from Atlanta to San Diego, and we had a layover in Milwaukee, which is, it's like not too far from Chicago. And I want to say the flight was like 4.5 hours, something like that. So you're stuck on a plane for at least 4 hours with this dude that's stalking you and texting you over 100 times. 100 times. That's too much. That's too many times. One time is too many times. He's an employee who got her number from the computer database. So that means he's got, or I don't even know where he got it. Maybe from, I would assume the computer. Either way, he has her phone number, which means he also has her address and her full legal name. What the heck?
He was on board the same plane, and he was watching her as she filed.
People wonder why I'm so protective of my location information. I'm very protective of it. Because of people like this. Crazy people like this.
Past him on her way to her seat.
I was already scared prior, but that made it even worse because we're going to be together on an enclosed plane for 4 hours.
You want to sit next to me? Ahmad asked. What's your seat number? Ashley says she'd had enough. She texted back, not okay, not cool. Okay, it's up to you, but friendship with me will be very beneficial for you. I can always give you good seats, access to the lounges, and free flights too.
No, thank you.
In total, Ashley says she received, get this, one.
Look at these text walls of text. Walls of text. Also, you can keep your free lounge passes and your upgraded seats, sir. Get out of here. And I understand people are going to say, well, why didn't she block the number? Because she wants the evidence. That's why you don't block people. That's why you just collect the evidence. You just collect all of the evidence until the time comes, and then you have all of the evidence. I don't block anybody. Bring it on.
100 texts
Whoa.
from him during the 4-hour flight.
I don't know what happened there. Let's rewind it a little bit. There we go.
100 texts from him during the 4-hour flight, including sexually suggestive images. One text came with this Bitmoji as an apology for his persistence. Ashley Barno says she showed the text messages to a flight attendant who recognized the American Airlines employee and told Ashley this wasn't the first time he'd done this. When the plane landed in Chicago, he was escorted off. But how had he gotten the passenger's name and cell phone number in the first place? Ahmad admitted that he'd spotted her information on her luggage tag.
It's always a good idea to have
So
a bag tag that has a
scary.
cover on it. That way you can put your personal information inside, but it's protected so not everybody can take a look at it.
Not only
That
did he-
is true. She was replying. I wonder if we can read what she was saying. Like, is every reply "Stop, leave me alone"? Let's see if we can read it. Um, I wish they would. Let's see if we can back up. I want to see what she's saying. Okay. Why are you confused? LOL. I just saw you at the airport again. Are you flying on the ORD flight? That's the O'Hare Airport flight 2. And she replies, "What is your name?" And he said, "You guess." She said, "It doesn't work like that." I can't really see what it says there. So, how did you get my number? I think it says. Tell me otherwise, the phone is not going to work once we are airborne. Will you join me? I have 2 seats. So the green is her. She says, "Sure, you can't. Are you going to Chicago too?" She says, "Are you working on this flight?" It says, "DC is home. Do you have a better seat?" And she says, "Better than what?" "I don't know what seat you have. Just asking if you need a better seat on this flight. I can get you a better seat. I can get you a whole row to yourself." She is carrying on this conversation. Yeah, I think legal fiction is correct. She is carrying on this conversation. None of these are saying, "Stop texting me. I'm going to report you. Lose my number," that sort of stuff. She's replying as if they're having a conversation.
One text came with this Bitmoji as an apology for his persistence. Ashley Barno says she showed the text messages to a flight attendant who recognized the American Airlines employee and told Ashley this wasn't the first time he'd done this. When the plane landed in Chicago, he was escorted off. But how had he gotten the passenger's name and cell phone number in the first place? Ahmad admitted that he'd spotted her information on her luggage tag.
It's always a good idea to have a bag tag that has a cover on it. That way you can put your personal information inside, but it's protected so not everybody can take a look at it.
Not only did he get my name and phone number, he got my home address as well.
Ashley is suing American Airlines for negligent hiring, and she's suing the man for sexual harassment. In a statement to Inside Edition, the airline says they take privacy and safety of their customers seriously, adding that the employee no longer works for them.
I don't know how I feel about that one. I don't know. Because she was replying, right? Mr. Zed says she's trying to gather information to figure out who he is, which could be the case. I wish they would have shown the text like clearly so we could read through it and judge ourselves. Like I want to judge this situation. I was going to say person. I want to judge the situation to see, what she was asking and stuff like that. This one says police school bus driver to be charged in Kanawha County crash. I wonder if this is the same crash that Kafer and I covered the other day. We'll see. I guess we'll find out.
Way to the first day of school.
The crash that we covered the other day, the Mustang driver was at fault, not the school bus driver. So this must be a different one.
A Kanawha County school bus driver sideswiped a KRT bus this morning. 13 News reporter Delaney Wells joins us now live in Charleston with more details on how this accident happened.
Sorry, going back to the last story. I agree, Cellulite Yoga Pants. Why would she sue the airline? The airline didn't do anything wrong. Just because he worked for the airline. Now, granted, they need to know about it so they can fire him. But they didn't give out her information. He said he got it from her luggage tag, which could have been any rando at the airport, any random creepy guy at the airport.
Delaney?
Yeah, Zach, that's right. It happened around 7:30 this morning on Gordon Drive in Charleston. The KRT bus was stopped as the Kanawha County School Bus came from the opposite side and sideswiped the KRT bus. And there were students on the bus during this incident. They were on their way to George Washington High School and John Adams Middle School. Now, the drivers of the buses did get out and talk with each other, and then the Kanawha County School Bus driver got back into the bus and drove off the route back to school. And there was one driver on that KRT bus. We spoke with Sean Hill, the executive director of KRT, and he explained what happened with their bus.
Our vehicle was stopped and that this bus had approached, school bus had approached head on and sideswiped our vehicle. There was then a moment where our driver obviously checked on our passenger that was on the bus, made sure that there were no injuries, and then our driver got off and called the authorities and exchanged and spoke with the Kanawha County Schools bus driver, who then got back into the school bus and went on.
Kanawha County Schools issued a statement saying the driver failed to stop following the incident. However, school officials have confirmed everyone is okay and parents have been notified. Kanawha County Schools say they are working with KRT to follow up with any damage to their bus. And again, those students did arrive safely to the first day of school, and the name of the school bus driver has not been released. Live in Charleston, Delaney Wells, 13 News.
Thanks, Delaney Wells. Cool story. This next one, we're going to save that. This is a sovereign citizen. I'm going to save that for KFAR. I'm going to save that one. Let me see what else we have pulled up here. That's the same one we just watched. All right, there's that one. We have just a couple of more. Then I have some puppers to get to. We have 2 doggy stories today, 2 of them. Can you believe it? This one says, Florida man arrested after drone carrying drugs crashes into home. Apparently, the drug dealers are using drones now. Smart? I don't know. Let's watch the story, and then I'll let you know if you need to get your How to Get Away with Crime notebook. Your How to Get Away with Crime notebook out to take notes. By the way, if you want one of these notebooks, you can pick one up at kdz.com. It says How to Get Away with Crime. It says not my How to Get Away with Crime notebook. Everything's backwards. There. Let's pull that up. kdz.com, ktzed.com. We'll do a little search. Notebook. Here we go. Here we go. For $14.80, I think it's supposed to be $15. I'm not sure why that happened. You can pick up your... Come on, mouse. Do what I'm telling you to do. There we go. Your Not My How to Get Away with Crime notebook. And it's a hardcover notebook, good quality. Also, the pages inside are lined to make your notes, and it's perforated. So when you're done with that crime, you can tear that out and burn the evidence. Obviously, you burn the evidence right after. $14.80 plus shipping. I don't know how much the shipping is. You can see the perforations there. It's a very nice notebook. Pick yours up today. Look at how nice that looks. And don't forget, we're almost done with the show. And Restore Christendom show has rated my Rumble. Welcome, raiders from Restore Christendom, from the Restore Christendom show. Welcome. I live stream every Sunday at 7:30 Eastern, also on Wednesdays and Fridays at 8. We talk about crime stuff. We try to have some feel-good stories mixed in there too. On Wednesdays and Fridays, we watch body cam footage and laugh at dumb criminals. Join us.
A man, listen to this, was trying to deliver drugs with a drone. Well, the problem is, didn't make it to the right place.
Oh, no.
Ended up in the backyard of a home in Lutz. Fox 13's Kylie Jones joins us live outside the Hillsborough County Courthouse with details. Kylie, this new technology is changing things for a lot of people. I guess even these kind of people.
Yeah, you know, you see something new every day, Mark, and that overhead drug delivery, it didn't clear one of the homes in its path, and those homeowners certainly didn't authorize that delivery. Ultimately, it was the suspect's creativity that led to him getting busted. As most people slept around 1 a.m. Tuesday on Hannah Michaela Lane in Lutz, a late-night delivery was on its way. All of a sudden, one homeowner heard a clatter against the back of their house.
He walks outside.
Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Cool Clearwater. I appreciate that. It says, support as we can. This community's support is more than can ever be repaid. From Barbara this time. Thank you so much, Barbara and Cool Clearwater family. My P.O. box is in my channel description, so get that invitation to Thanksgiving out in the mail as soon as possible. I'll need to book flights. I'm joking, obviously. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. And Ava gets a treat, and Zena gets a treat. This is how we purchased the dog biscuits, so I appreciate that very much.
Discover a drone had crashed in his backyard. He picks up the drone when he sees that the drone has a brown cloth bag attached to it.
This family wasn't expecting a package. The homeowners tell us they opened up the bag, and this is what they found.
3 bags with fentanyl powder and 1 bag of methamphetamine.
They immediately called the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Before deputies could get there, Sheriff Chad Chronister says the homeowners saw a man outside.
In his backyard with a flashlight looking for the drone.
Then the homeowners tell us they heard 3 separate knocks at the door. Their security footage captured that delivery driver or drone operator looking for the missing package.
He's got the drone thing in his hand. It's probably got a GPS on it or something. I wouldn't give it back to him. I'd be like, it's my fentanyl now. Sorry, buddy. Flush.
Deputies found Jason Brooks waiting outside the house.
Wait, where's this drone at the moment?
It showed me it was in the backyard, but I tried to knock.
You know we can't just be going in people's backyards trying to look for shit.
I know, that's why I knocked.
Another deputy went inside the home to unbox the package.
Oh, names. Oh, okay.
The sheriff says each bag was labeled with his customers' names. On the 4th bag,
share this. Okay. All right. Well,
Chronister says,
get your notebook out. Rule number 1 for your How to Get Away with Crime notebook. Actually, we're probably on rule like 358 by now. Don't write the names of your customers on the drugs, drug dealers. What are you doing? Why would you do that? Oh man, these people need a new drug dealer. That's just peak stupidity right there. Peak stupidity.
There's no doubt Brooks was trying to make sure this flight went undetected.
give me the remote. Put your hands around your back. Jason Brooks.
Brooks made a first appearance in court over video conference Wednesday afternoon. Now, deputies will look at drone data to try to track this special delivery.
Oh my gosh.
And
they're going to go through like the black box of this drone and find every single one of his customers. How dumb do you have to be? I assume when they said they're going to track, like it's got something inside of it. I don't, my husband has a drone. I don't know how drones work. He might know more than I do. I'm sure if he's like the drone he has is probably not the kind that has all that fancy stuff. It's like a little like $100 one from Amazon or something like that. It's the equivalent of like a remote control car. But I'm assuming this drone that this drug dealer had just from that sentence that they just said, they're going to be able to go back and find every single house that he's delivered drugs to in probably the last 6 months or something like that. This is crazy. This is crazy. Whoever sent me this, thank you so much.
Did again appear in court virtually this afternoon. A judge granted him bond on a number of charges, including possession with intent to sell, but he's being held without bond on a warrant out of Pasco County for failure to appear, guys.
Yeah, it'd be interesting what that drone data shows, all those other stops, if there are others before this. Kylie Jones, live for us. Kylie, thanks.
Now, we have 2 doggy stories. Actually, there was a doggy story at the end of this.
Kylie Jones, live
Should
for
we
us.
watch that one? Oh, what did I do? I'm hitting buttons all over the place. Let's watch this doggy story too, because why not? Now we have 3 doggy stories to end the show with.
Dozens of dogs and cats now have a place to call home after a busy, clear.
If you guys don't want the puppy stories, just let me know. We can skip it and end the show now. Just let me know.
The weekend at the Humane Society of Tampa Bay. Lots of animals got a good home. Fox 13's Regina Gonzalez shows us the record adoption numbers and the people who camped out just to find their new best friend.
The Humane Society of Tampa Bay was packed with people looking to find a forever friend this weekend. Some, like Akila Brown, even camped outside before the doors opened.
So I've been waiting here since 1:27 a.m. 1:27 a.m. I came, no one was here. I even slept on a bench outside. I brought 2 covers.
Her early morning wake-up call ended up paying off. By Sunday, she had adopted not 1, but 2 dogs. A lab puppy on Saturday and a schnauzer named Snoopy the next day.
I love that he has a very chill personality, very alert also, but you could just tell that he's a loving dog,
Brown says part of what keeps her coming back to the Humane Society is the experience she has at their shelter.
I don't know, just the environment itself, very informative. They make sure.
This lady's striking me as an animal hoarder. I don't know why. It's because she adopted 2 dogs and then she says she frequents this animal shelter. I'm just curious of how many correct me if you guys didn't get that sort of feeling from her. It's just, I can understand adopting 2 dogs if you don't have a dog, but then the sentence about her being a frequent customer of this animal shelter worries me a little bit. It does worry me a little bit.
Very informative. They make sure that their health is good before they give them to you, get them spayed and neutered. It's a lot of good things that comes with it.
And many feel the same way because entire rows of their kennels quickly emptied out during the 3-day event that waived adoption fees for animals 3 months and older.
The event started Friday. We did 56 adoptions. Yesterday was a record. We did 80 adoptions, 6 test drives. 86 animals that went home yesterday. It was amazing.
And they were looking to match or top those numbers.
Tell me this dog would not fit right in at my house. Tell me that this is not maybe I need to go to Tampa. Look at this one. Oh my gosh, he would fit right in. Maybe I want to be an animal hoarder too.
Top those numbers Sunday, giving dozens of dogs and cats a second chance.
Which means more room for us to put more animals up, be able to take in and help more pets. So it was amazing to see the community show up and adopt and get these animals homes.
In Tampa, Regina Gonzalez, Fox 13 News.
Snoopy the Schnauzer. Good luck.
That's very cute.
The Humane Society of Tampa Bay says a total of 192 cats and dogs were adopted at this event.
Very, very cute. Hey guys, maybe I just want to do this little public service announcement that if you are in the market to get a new best friend, as the news story said, please check out the animal shelters. Go to petfinder.com. I know some people are like, well, I want this specific breed of dog and they don't have them at the shelters. Go to petfinder.com. I guarantee they will, if they don't have one right now, whatever this fancy breed is that you want. If they don't have one right now that needs a home, they will. So every couple of days, just keep looking. Also, you don't have to look just in your area. If you're planning on spending thousands of dollars on a dog that's a purebred dog, but they have that dog that needs a home, that needs to be rescued a few states away, it'd be worth it. You'd even still save money by paying the pet adoption fee and the travel cost to go pick up this dog. I promise you, dogs that are adopted appreciate it. They know. They never forget where they came from, and they will love you like no other dog will love you. I promise you. All right, that's my public service announcement for the day. Both of my dogs are, you guys know this, they're both adopted. And they're the best dogs ever. Like, you can't get better dogs than this. There's just no way. Okay. This one says, just visiting. Runaway dog drops by police station. Okay. He's turning himself in, guys. He's turning himself in.
Old Husky and German Shepherd mix.
I got a thing for dogs that just look like wolves. You know, he looks like a wolf, I think.
But Chico is anything but wolf-like.
We're gonna have him at my dad's store, you know, to be a guard dog, but, you know, he's just doesn't take stuff seriously.
He loves to play fetch.
Well, usually he just drops it and, you know, lets her roll around, then I grab it and I throw it again.
But one morning, it was his owner, Edward, who'd have to fetch him.
They posted that picture at 3:30 a.m.
Oh my
While
goodness.
Edward was asleep, Chico ran out the gate.
Started chewing it.
And you've never taken him to the police station before?
No.
And that's exactly where he went. Chico blowing up social media that morning with photos of his furry self greeting employees at the Odessa Police Department, a mile away from Edward's home.
That's kind of cool, you know. He knows where to go.
But the post circulated to where it even caught the attention of Edward's nephew.
How cute is this dog? Look at him. Look at this face.
To where it even caught the attention of Edward's nephew.
He asked me, is that Chico? And I'm all like, well, yeah. And I came outside and checked it, but he was here already.
And that's exactly right. After Chico said his hellos to the department, it may have been his curfew calling because he ran out OPD's doors and headed back home.
He does got the look of a German Shepherd and stuff like that. And, you know, a lot of people were posting he probably wanted to join the squad or something like that.
Were you trying out for the canine unit? He said yes. So it was only fair we took him back to the scene of the crime, where he could pay another visit to his friends.
You're
the dog, the famous dog, huh? They showed up to OPD. They applied for the canine position.
They say a dog is a man's best friend. For Chico, Edward is his.
I hope they give him like an honorary canine certificate or something like that.
A dog who made the distance, who will always find his way back home.
How adorable. How adorable. I'm going to give the dog some more treats just because I don't want to wait for you guys. I think they deserve them after seeing those dog stories, don't you? How that Chico dog is very cute. There's one for Ava. There's one for Zena. Oh, hi, Zena. You awake now? You awake? There you go. Amazing. All right, last story, guys. Last story, and then we're going to call it a night. This says dynamic dog's daily visits to neighbors never gets old. My next door neighbor's dog comes and visits us sometimes, and I love it. I love it. He's always welcome here. Also, Ava, this terrorist right here, likes to get out of the fence and go visit the neighbors as they walk down the road. More treats. Yes, we can do more treats for sure. More treats. Thank you so much, Legal Fiction, for the support. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button, too. And subscribe. If you're here and you like it, subscribe. Especially you guys over there on Rumble from the Rumble raid. Subscribe. I'm here 3 times a week. All right, let's see Emmy, the Labrador's neighborhood.
Go Cinderos! Quick, there's no time to waste. It's 5 p.m. in Southern California, and that means Emmy can finally go see her favorite neighbor, Linda Rose.
If you notice, she just touched the doorbell. Good girl.
This video from Emmy's dad, Russell, has picked up millions of views on social media as Emmy rings her specially made doorbell, wags her tail impatiently, and then disappears behind the door.
They gave her a doggy doorbell. How cute. How cute is that? There's a little doorbell.
Appears behind the door. Russell shares these videos almost every day, and yet Emmy's fans have never actually seen Linda Rose before. That is, until now.
If he can't find her, he never has to wonder where she is.
Where is she?
At our house.
Linda Rose and her husband Mark have known this 7-year-old Labrador Retriever almost her entire life, and say they don't appear on camera because these two retirees are often cooking dinner or gardening at this time. But here's what these daily visits look like from their side.
It never gets old. We look forward to it. We watch the clock.
Before, Linda Rose used to get quite upset if she missed Emmy's appearances, like this door-scratching visit in December of 2023. Can't leave Emmy hanging like that. So Russell installed this doorbell and taught Emmy to push it with her nose. You see, not many of her followers know this, but Emmy is actually a trained service dog. Russell served as a captain in the Army and first started training Emmy to help him out at 8 weeks old.
Like, I've trained her to look behind me in certain situations or just provide a barrier between me and other people. She means a great deal to me.
Oh, she's fast today. Now Emmy also means a different kind of great deal to Linda Rose, Mark, and millions online.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than having a neighbor who shares their pet with you.
So guys, when you heard Russell say, go see Linda Rose, that's actually the phrase Emmy is trained to wait for. So when he says, go see Linda Rose, Emmy can finally sprint over there and see her pal.
I love that story. I want to install a doggy-sized doorbell for the dogs to come visit me. That'd be fun. All dogs are welcome here. And everybody's welcome here. Everybody's welcome here. Oh man, that was a good show. I liked it a lot. I like having the puppy stories at the end. Really brightens my mood. Ready to get on with this week. So I will be back on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. For members, I have coming out a raw body cam footage. One of them was released yesterday. I'm going through them because one of the ones that they sent me, literally has nothing happening in it. So any of them that have something happening in it, I will release periodically for members only. And then once we get all those uploaded, there's, I think 15 of them came with this records request. By the way, thank you all so much for donating to the FOIA request fund. Appreciate it. This one was very expensive, this FOIA request, and the money went to good use, I think. So look forward to those if you are members of the KDZ channel. And then Kfar and I will cover that body cam incident. It is a assault on a law enforcement officer incident. And what's funny about this one is that as the cops were responding, they found a drunk guy in the bushes that really had nothing to do with the rest of the crime that was happening. So just random drunk people asleep in the bushes they come across. So yeah, that's it. That's the show. I will click the buttons to end the show any second now, as soon as I get to them. Thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate each and every one of you. And just before we go, let's do this one more time.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog?
Have a great night, everybody. See you Wednesday.
First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man.
go. So